Sydnie Christmas captured the hearts of millions on Britain's Got Talent with her incredible talent and radiant personality. But behind the bright smiles and powerful performances lay a story far more heartbreaking than anyone could have imagined. For years, Sydnie faced struggles and challenges that remained hidden from the public eye. Struggles that would eventually shape the course of her life in ways no one expected. Audiences saw her as a beacon of hope, a young performer chasing her dreams, sharing her gift, and inspiring others with every note. But the truth behind her journey was darker, filled with moments of deep disappointment, personal loss, and emotional turmoil. Friends and family knew her as a determined and resilient young woman. Yet even they were stunned by the events that would unfold. Events that left an indelible mark on her life. Sydnie's story is not just about talent. It's about the fragility of dreams, the unexpected turns of life, and the resilience required to keep moving forward despite heartbreak. The tragedy she endured reminds us that even in the spotlight, even amid applause and admiration, life can take a devastating turn. Now, the world is beginning to understand what truly happened to Sydnie Christmas. The heartbreak she endured, the obstacles she faced, and the reality that her journey, while inspiring, was also filled with moments of unimaginable sorrow. This is the untold story of Sydnie Christmas, a tale of promise, pain, and the courage it takes to keep shining despite it all. From the moment Sydnie Christmas stepped onto the Britain's Got Talent stage, it was clear she was special. The young performer carried herself with a mixture of confidence and vulnerability that instantly drew the audience in. Her talent was undeniable, but what truly captivated viewers was the way she poured emotion into every performance. Sydnie's presence was magnetic. People didn't just watch her, they felt her. Behind the scenes, however, Sydnie's journey to that stage was far from easy. Like many young performers, she had spent years honing her craft, attending countless auditions, and facing rejection after rejection. Each setback could have discouraged her, yet she pressed on, fueled by an unwavering passion for her art. Music and performance weren't just hobbies, they were lifelines. For Sydnie, performing was a way to express feelings she couldn't otherwise put into words, a means of coping with life's challenges and sharing her story with the world. When she finally appeared on national television, the stakes were higher than ever. Millions of viewers were watching, and the pressure to succeed could have been overwhelming for someone so young. Yet, Sydnie delivered performance after performance with precision, heart, and authenticity. Judges and audiences alike were amazed by her technical skill, stage presence, and the emotional depth she brought to every note. Every applause was validation, proof that her years of struggle and sacrifice were worth it. But while the world was captivated by her talent, Sydnie was navigating a complicated personal life, balancing school, family responsibilities, and the demands of a burgeoning career was exhausting. She often had to suppress feelings of anxiety, fear, and self-doubt to maintain the polished image expected of a television star. Even as she smiled for the cameras and charmed the audience, she was carrying a weight that few could see, the pressure to succeed, and the fear of disappointing those who believed in her. Despite the challenges, Sydnie's talent shone brightly. Her audition was a defining moment, one that instantly cemented her status as a rising star. But with fame came new complications. As her performances went viral and social media buzzed with admiration, expectations grew. Every new appearance, every public event, became a test of her endurance, her emotional strength, and her ability to handle attention that could be both uplifting and overwhelming. It was clear to everyone watching that Sydnie had a bright future ahead. Yet her story was only beginning. The very qualities that made her exceptional, sensitivity, passion, and emotional depth, would also make her vulnerable. The applause, the acclaim, and the admiration could not shield her from the challenges she would face next. Sydnie's journey serves as a reminder that talent alone does not make life easy. Behind every moment of glory, there are unseen struggles, emotional battles, and personal challenges that shape a person's path. For Sydnie Christmas, the stage was only the beginning, and the trials she would face off stage were far more complicated than the world could imagine. After Sydnie Christmas captured the hearts of millions on Britain's Got Talent, her life changed almost overnight. Overnight fame can seem like a dream, but for Sydnie, it brought challenges she was unprepared for. The praise, the media attention, and the social media buzz were overwhelming. Messages of admiration poured in from fans. But alongside the love came scrutiny, criticism, and the intense expectations of a public eager to see her succeed. Sydnie was still young, still learning about herself and the world. Yet she suddenly had a spotlight shining brighter than anything she had experienced before. Every performance was analyzed, every smile dissected, and every move questioned. The pressure to maintain perfection weighed heavily, and she often felt she had no space to just be a teenager. She struggled to balance her personal life with the demands of her rising career. Simple things that others took for granted, hanging out with friends, quiet weekends at home, were suddenly complicated by her fame. Family and friends tried to support her, but even their guidance could not fully shield her from the emotional weight of being constantly in the public eye. She began to feel a loneliness that is hard to describe, surrounded by people, yet isolated by the expectations and assumptions that fame imposes. Every decision, every action seemed magnified. Even small missteps could lead to headlines or social media speculation. Sydnie realized that talent alone could not prepare her for the challenges that come with the spotlight. The constant pressure began to affect her mental and emotional well-being. Anxiety and self-doubt crept in, and she questioned her own abilities, wondering if she could continue to meet the demands of fans, judges, and the industry. Her passion for performing remained, but it was now accompanied by a fear of failure, fear that the world's expectations might be too heavy to bear. Despite these struggles, Sydnie continued to perform with incredible skill and dedication. Each stage appearance was a triumph, a testament to her resilience and commitment to her craft. Yet behind the applause and admiration, she was fighting battles that the audience could not see. Every smile on stage was carefully maintained, every confident performance carefully prepared, and every step forward achieved through immense personal effort. The contrast between her public success and private struggle highlighted the complexity of fame. At a young age, while viewers celebrated her talent, Sydnie wrestled with emotions that few could understand. She faced the reality that being admired by millions does not guarantee happiness or security. Talent could open doors, but it could not shield her from the emotional cost of living life in the spotlight. This period became a defining moment for Sydnie. It taught her lessons about resilience, perseverance, and the importance of finding support and balance amid chaos. The challenges she faced offstage would shape her decisions, her outlook on life, and her ability to navigate the next chapter of her journey. Fame had brought her recognition and opportunity, but it also revealed vulnerabilities and heartbreaks that would remain with her long after the cameras were gone. As Sydnie Christmas continued to navigate her newfound fame, the challenges she faced became increasingly personal. While audiences saw her smiling and performing flawlessly on stage, few knew the emotional toll her journey was taking. Fame, while exciting, can magnify insecurities and amplify stress, and for someone as young and sensitive as Sydnie, the impact was profound. One of the most significant struggles was balancing her personal identity with the public persona everyone adored. Sydnie had grown up in a world where she was just herself, pursuing a passion and enjoying the support of her family. Suddenly, she was no longer just Sydnie. She was the performer, the rising star, the girl from Britain's Got Talent. Every interaction, every photo, every appearance became a reflection of what the world expected from her. The pressure to meet those expectations left her feeling disconnected from who she truly was. On top of that, the scrutiny extended beyond performances. Social media, while a tool for connection, became a source of anxiety. Comments, opinions, and rumors spread quickly, and Sydnie sometimes found herself reading words that were cruel or misinformed. Even though most messages were supportive, the negative ones lingered in her mind, chipping away at her confidence. She realized that being talented and admired did not make her immune to criticism or heartbreak. Family support remained crucial, but even the closest people could not fully shield her from the pressures of fame. They reminded her of her worth and encouraged her to focus on her growth, but the experience was hers alone to navigate. At times, she felt isolated, surrounded by people who cared, yet weighed down by challenges that few could understand firsthand. As the demands of the entertainment world increased, Sydnie also had to cope with the disappointment of opportunities that didn't materialize. Auditions, roles, and collaborations that seemed promising sometimes fell through, creating additional emotional strain. Each setback reminded her that talent alone does not guarantee success, and that resilience was just as important as skill. Despite these hardships, Sydnie continued to persevere. Her performances retained the authenticity and passion that had first captivated audiences. She used music as a sanctuary, a place to process emotions, channel frustrations, and express the complexities of her inner world. Even in moments of doubt, she found solace in her craft, knowing that her voice and her story were powerful tools for navigating challenges. This stage of Sydnie's journey underscored the often overlooked truth of young performers. Success on stage does not erase personal struggles. It may amplify them, forcing young stars to confront insecurities, pressures, and heartbreaks they may not be prepared to handle. For Sydnie Christmas, the experience was both a blessing and a burden, a remarkable opportunity tempered by the harsh realities of fame and the emotional weight it carries. Through it all, Sydnie demonstrated resilience, strength, and determination. Her ability to continue performing with grace and emotion in the face of personal challenges is a testament to her character and passion. Yet, even as audiences celebrated her talent, the reality of her personal struggles remained a quiet, heartbreaking part of her story, one that would shape the next chapter of her life in profound ways. After years of challenges, Sydnie Christmas's story is not only one of heartbreak, but also of resilience and hope. The struggles she faced behind the scenes, the pressures of fame, the scrutiny of social media, and the disappointments that came with missed opportunities could have left her bitter, withdrawn, or disillusioned. Instead, Sydnie chose a path of recovery, reflection, and reinvention, demonstrating a maturity far beyond her years. One of the first steps in her healing journey was learning to set boundaries. Sydnie realized that not everyone's opinions deserved space in her mind, and that constant exposure to criticism could be toxic. By limiting the negativity she absorbed, focusing on supportive relationships, and prioritizing her mental well-being, she gradually began to reclaim control over her life. These boundaries were not just practical, they were a form of self-respect, a way to protect her spirit while still pursuing the passion that had defined her from the start. Family and close friends played a crucial role in helping her rebuild confidence. Their support reminded Sydnie that she was more than her public persona, that her worth did not depend on applause, viral moments, or approval from strangers. Through their encouragement, she found the strength to focus on her goals without being weighed down by fear or self-doubt. She began to reconnect with her love for music in a more personal, authentic way, using it not just to perform, but to express herself and process her emotions. Sydnie also explored new opportunities beyond television competitions. She invested time in projects that allowed her to grow as an artist, without the constant pressure of public judgment. Whether collaborating on new music, performing in smaller, more intimate settings, or developing her own creative ideas, she embraced experiences that nurtured both her talent and her sense of self. These choices reflected a shift from seeking validation to pursuing fulfillment, and they helped her find joy in the process rather than focusing solely on the outcome. Another key aspect of her recovery has been her willingness to share her journey. By opening up about the struggles she faced, Sydnie became an inspiration to other young performers navigating the complexities of early fame. Her honesty has helped fans understand that the path to success is rarely smooth, and that emotional struggles are a natural part of personal growth. She reminds others that vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a strength that allows us to learn, heal, and connect with others on a deeper level. Today, Sydnie Christmas stands as a testament to resilience. While her journey has been filled with unexpected hardships and heartbreak, she has emerged stronger, more self-aware, and more determined than ever. She continues to pursue her passion for music with dedication, creativity, and authenticity, while maintaining a balanced approach to her personal life and emotional well-being. Her story is a powerful reminder that talent alone cannot shield someone from life's challenges, but courage, perseverance, and support can guide them through even the darkest moments. Sydnie's experiences have shaped her, but they do not define her. Instead, they highlight the strength, determination, and hope that she carries forward, qualities that will continue to guide her as she writes the next chapters of her life. Through heartbreak, struggle, and the pressures of fame, Sydnie Christmas has proven that the human spirit can endure, heal, and shine brighter than ever before. Her journey is far from over, but one thing is certain: she will face the future with courage, grace, and the resilience that has always defined her remarkable story.